Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. Today's video is from True Work. It's titled Charlie Kirk Just Humiliated Woke Students Live. Yeah, I always like videos like this where Charlie Kirk would not humiliate but educate them, put them in the right. A lot of these students are very silly and insolent. Some of them are very rude, but sometimes when he gets to have reasonable ones, brilliant and intelligent ones, they get to learn from each other. I've seen videos where Charlie Kirk actually learns from some students. Some students are so brilliant. Oh my gosh. You hear them speak and they are so brilliant. They ask very intelligent questions. I love videos like because you get to learn one or two. So today's video is so interesting. Before we dive into it, I'm Oge. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, hi. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. Let's quickly check this out together.
We have 320,000 missing children right now in this country that were all sex trafficked or labor trafficked across the southern border. Most times it's a pimp that is selling the girl into sex slavery in the interior of the United States. Then you got to give me a good reason, at least two, why you don't like Trump.
He's racist. Yup, boomy.
In today's video, we're going to dive into a revealing conversation between Taylor, a college student, and Charlie, a conservative speaker. This exchange touches on a lot of themes: misunderstandings about identity, politics, and how miscommunication often adds fuel to the fire of political debate. Let's break down the main issues Taylor faces, from confusing personal identity with political beliefs to relying on unclear definitions. And finally, let's explore some ways we can help people like her find clarity amidst today's often chaotic.
That's usually the point of watching videos.
Can you
like
define
this.
What does it mean to be racist?
Do you want me to look up a definition?
No, I want you to. You said he's a racist, so you
Yeah.
must
So, yeah,
you
you
must
should
have
give
a
a
definition of
definition.
racism in your
Yeah.
mind. Tell me what that definition is.
Okay, so I'm gonna make you guys wait on this. Ooh, zero knowledge.
Guys, please don't heckle. I want to try to understand, because these words have a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
But you can't get. I know it's hard on the spot. I just want you to think about it, because if you say Trump is a racist, you should be able to easily give a definition of what that word means.
So it's hatred towards another race, right?
So when has he ever exhibited that? Give me clear and specific examples.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I heard someone say he told. Yes.
Okay, but let me just help you out here. What, you think he's a racist because the media has told you he's a racist?
Of course.
Because you can't give me an example off the top of your head, and even when you phone a friend to the audience. I'm not criticizing you. Maybe the media is lying to you. Maybe the man who's being called a racist is actually someone that's trying to improve lives of all Americans.
Okay.
I think this is fun, guys. So
You know that sometimes you don't just go about throwing words around without having your facts. You understand? You cannot just go about throwing words around. I know that the media feeds us with a lot of things. Of course, during this campaign, we've heard worse things about Trump, Kamala, and all of that. But you cannot just. That's why we said, during some of these our videos, we're like, if you want to choose a candidate, you have to have a valid reason, not what the media feeds you on. You have to go do your research and make sure that this candidate is actually worth my vote. You don't just go around because everybody say, oh, Trump is racist, he's racist, then he's racist. Like, now he's asking a very valid question. Because you just throw that word around, you throw it around, everybody runs with it. And that's the thing with social media these days. Nobody wants to do background checks. Nobody wants to read. Nobody wants to find out. Nobody wants to do some research. Whatever the internet feeds us or social media feeds us, we just buy it and then run with it. Now they're asking a question, okay, give me a clear example of when he's been racist. And she can't even answer. A lot of them can't answer. I'm not saying that I'm just, just saying my opinion, right? If you're saying somebody's being racist, then you should have at least one example of when the person is being racist. You understand? Be saying words like this, they are actually big words to actually use and just throw around. But let's continue.
So,
Okay, so let me just ask one final question for you,
yeah.
which is, you say you are liberal,
Yeah.
right? And you say you lean to the left.
Yeah.
Are you open-minded to have your mind changed on your core political principles
On my core political principles,
or
if
philosophical?
If it's a fact, then sure.
Cool. So can I give you a fact I want you to think about? Kamala Harris, as she's been in charge of the border, we have 320,000 missing children right now in this country that were all sex trafficked or labor trafficked across the southern border. Do you agree that that should probably get more attention?
I think any type of issue like that should get attention.
Have you heard about that before me mentioning it?
Not really. Like I said, I don't really know that much.
No, but hold on. But you knew enough to say Trump was a racist. Why do you think you don't know that there's 320,000 missing kids in America? Why is that?
It's not really presented in the media. The media is so focused right now on the battle between conservative and liberal.
But isn't that a core part of the battle, that the liberal vice president has allowed 320,000 kids to go missing?
So how has she allowed that exactly?
That's a good question. She's in charge of the border. She has stopped DNA testing at the border. So if a kid comes to the border, 12 years old, and someone says, I'm their father, there's no DNA rapid testing that takes 90 seconds to make sure that's actually the father. Most times it's a pimp that is selling the girl into sex slavery in the interior of the United States. Kamala Harris specifically got rid of that policy.
So it was in place before?
Yes, when Donald Trump was president, it required DNA testing, and families would remain together, and they were not granted asylum into the interior of the country, and we had remain in Mexico, the lowest border crossings in American history. Under Kamala Harris, we have 10 million people coming illegally into America.
Okay. Next person.
All right, I want you to think about these things, and maybe one day you'll remember this conversation, and you'll think back that maybe conservatives have been right all along. Thank you.
That was a good conversation.
Taylor starts by saying her views align with her morals, especially because she identifies as queer. It's a great example of how many people today feel that their political stances must reflect their identities. While it's common to think that our identities drive our beliefs, it can sometimes restrict us too. Identity-based thinking might create a bubble, narrowing how we see political issues, making it hard to stay open to other ideas that might not perfectly align with our personal identities. If we really want to engage fully in political discussions, we have to go beyond our own experiences. Sure, our identities are important, but they don't need to limit us or dictate every opinion we hold. Politics is about a wide range of issues, from healthcare and the economy to education and foreign policy. If we think broadly and factor in diverse viewpoints, we might find policies that don't just benefit us personally, but help society as a whole. Encouraging this broader mindset is crucial for creating well-rounded citizens who consider many perspectives. Charlie asks Taylor to define queer, and she struggles, which is understandable. Today, labels like queer are more fluid and individualized than ever. While this allows for personal expression, it can also make it harder for people to communicate effectively, leading to misunderstandings. When people embrace terms without clearly understanding them or explaining what they mean to others, they risk losing the power of those words in discussions. To prevent this, we can work on defining our terms clearly, even if definitions vary. It's okay for meanings to differ, but clarity in communication helps bridge gaps, making conversations more constructive. Clear definitions can eliminate some confusion in debates, creating a pathway for productive discussion. So, as a solution, we could encourage people to take a moment to think about the words they use and what those words mean to them individually. It's not about having one right answer. It's about each person sharing what terms like queer mean in their own context.
Do you tend to be more conservative or liberal?
More liberal.
Okay. Tell me how you got to that way, and tell me. This is not a trick. I'm not here to debate college kids. I'm here to try to teach. If someone debates me, I'll debate back. But
I mean, it's kind of just what aligns with my morals. I'm myself. I'm a queer person, and I know that you have a lot of stuff that you wouldn't agree with me on. But I think it's important to actually debate the topics and not just fight. So
I totally agree. Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
When I grew up, calling someone queer was like a slur. Can you tell me what that means? I mean that sincerely. And how is it different than just saying you're lesbian or bisexual or gay?
So it can be
Okay.
different for everyone because gender, sexuality, it's a spectrum just like anything else. And for me personally, I like everyone.
No, but what does queer mean, though?
Queer, it's just a label.
What does the label mean?
It's different for everyone.
Okay. No, I know, but that doesn't...
I hear people
What
going,
does it
"Oh my
mean?
god."
No, I just want
It's-
I want a definition. I mean, I'm not trying to put you as a trap, though. I mean this because when I grew up, if I called somebody queer, I would get in trouble. Just give me like a working definition.
Yeah, so queer is just something that you identify as with your sexuality. It can be related to gender too.
Right, but how do you know once you achieve queer? Like, what is the... Like, can you give me... saying that anybody can be it doesn't tell me what that thing is. That makes sense, though? Like, it'd be like saying... you become an adult when you feel like you're an adult. I mean, you have to say that there is an objective.
I'm glad that everyone's having so much fun.
Well,
with
they're
this.
laughing because I'm trying to glean like what it means.
Yeah.
Because when someone says queer, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, so that's what a debate is for. For thank you. So, it's literally just a identity.
Right. Okay. But
Queer is an identity.
right. But like, what is that identity? For example, if I were to say I'm a conservative, let me give an example.
Yeah.
A conservative is someone who believes in small government, strong borders, American exceptionalism, the Constitution. How would you then give a definition of queer that someone looking at could say, oh, that is queer, like connect the
That
dots?
is queer.
So, I'm gay, right?
Okay, no, that's good. So,
Yeah.
but then, so what's the difference
That's
in gay
good.
and queer?
The whole point of it is that it has a different definition for everyone.
No, I know, but what is the difference then of gay and queer?
No! I get more questions, right?
Yeah, sure.
So one of the problems here is this particular lady, she as an example to so many other liberals out there, right? How do I say this now without actually sounding somehow? They just they I don't know. They don't just is it that they don't know the definition of certain words or terms before using them, or they just use terms without actually knowing what it means. Actually, when you say queer, we know, okay, we know what queer is, right? When we see someone, we can say maybe, oh yeah, this person is queer, that kind of stuff, but kind of try to define it so that someone can actually relate to what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
When did I say I was good at it?
No, guys, I'm not trying. I mean this because I think that in society, just so you know my perspective,
So,
they're not
what?
chanting at you, just so you know.
No, I have a real question.
Okay.
I have a real question. What are your favorite policies that you want implemented from Trump? Like if he were to be elected?
I think we should drill our natural resources to bring down the price of oil and natural gas. I think we should broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. I think we should try to end the Israeli war as quickly and as humanely possible. I believe we should secure the southern border, cut taxes for middle-income earners, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, no men and women's sports. Those are just some of the policies off the top of my head.
Yeah, so I agree that taxes should be lowered because the taxes are extremely high, especially here. And I know you brought up earlier that it's way more expensive now to have housing than it was even like a couple years ago. And I think it's super important to talk about that because it's really impossible for especially college students to be expected to have housing after they graduate.
So, totally agree. So why is it that when Trump was president, an average house you could get at $75,000 combined income a year, now it's $130,000 a year? Why is that?
So I will say that I don't agree with everything that Kamala Harris stands for, and I'm not that knowledgeable about it. That's why I'm having the debate so I can learn. But I also don't agree with Trump. So
On what, though? What?
I just don't.
Why? You should have your
Don't
reason.
boo me! I'm not. No, guys, don't. No, please.
Yes!
Don't boo.
Thank
Don't
you,
boo.
guys.
Please don't boo. What's your name?
Taylor.
Taylor, thank you for coming up. Can you give me 2 things that you don't agree with Trump on, or would you like me to try to win you over for Trump?
So you're not going to be able to do that, but I appreciate it.
Well, then you're not open-minded.
Well, first of all,
If you say that there's nothing you can then hear to be won over for Trump, then you got to give me a good reason, at least 2, why you don't like Trump.
he's racist. Yup, boo me.
Use Google.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so let me ask you a dumb question.
Interestingly, Taylor and Charlie find common ground on the topic of affordable housing for students. This agreement highlights that people from different sides of the political spectrum often share similar concerns. They just approach solutions differently. Recognizing these overlaps can transform arguments into dialogues, leading to more understanding and collaboration. Yet, things take a turn when Taylor accuses Trump of being racist, but can't back it up with specific reasons. This illustrates a risky habit of repeating accusations without fully understanding or verifying them. In a world where we're surrounded by sensationalized media and friends' opinions, it's easy to repeat what we hear without asking ourselves, why do I believe this? Encouraging young adults to question and fact-check information promotes critical thinking, ensuring their beliefs are based on evidence rather than assumption. And in one surprising moment, Taylor admits she wasn't aware of an important topic, the issue of missing children at the border. This moment sheds light on how selective information shapes our worldview, often making it incomplete. In the end, Charlie asks Taylor if she's open to changing her beliefs, and her hesitation says a lot. Taylor claims to be open-minded, but admits she isn't interested in changing her core beliefs. But true open-mindedness isn't about constantly changing our values. It's about genuinely considering other perspectives, even if they challenge our own. It's about creating room for growth. Being open doesn't mean abandoning everything we stand for. It means being willing to rethink and refine our beliefs as we learn. Taylor's conversation with Charlie shows how important it is to stay informed from diverse sources, explore multiple perspectives, and stay open to new information. Imagine the positive impact if more people approached conversations this way. So if you found this breakdown insightful, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into today's issues, and stay tuned for our next video. Until then, let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah, that was a very interesting conversation between Taylor and Charlie Kirk. I usually like conversations like this because we could see that Taylor was not knowledgeable about a lot of things. Yeah, she was not knowledgeable. She even said, she admitted that she wanted to be open, she was open-minded, but she didn't want to change her stance about certain things. So yeah, but I love conversations like this. We could see that we could see the way a lot of young people's minds are. We tend to feed our minds off what we see on social media without fact checking, without reading up, without our research, without actually asking ourselves, why do we actually believe in these things? What are these things? What are the core values? And it helps to promote critical thinking. When you actually sit down to actually think about it, why do I support this thing? Why do I believe in this thing? And then you go ahead and get your own researches done. You can't come up to say, oh, someone is racist without having actual reasons why you hate somebody, why you think somebody is being racist. You understand what I mean? So I feel like a lot of things has been learned from this video. One is that we need to learn beyond what we see on social media, do our own personal research, ask ourselves valid questions. Why are we supporting this person? When it comes to politics now, between Kamala Harris and Trump, why am I supporting Kamala? That's for the liberals. Why do I support Kamala? Why do I support her? Why do I support her view about abortion? Why do I support her view about gender and genderism and all of these things? Why do I support her? You should have your facts. Why do I support Trump? What are his beliefs? What are his core values? What are the things he wants to do for the people of America? And then when you check it, you can't just blindly follow somebody without actually doing your own personal research as an adult, because these questions are actually adults. Yeah, but let me know what you guys think about this particular video. Do you guys support Charlie Kirk and his work, what he's doing on campuses? I love these students a lot. Like, I love them a lot. A lot of them actually want to learn. Like Taylor, she wanted to learn. Like, we could see that she didn't know about a lot of things. When they asked her about questions about the girls from the border, She said that she could not even answer. She didn't know anything about that. So yeah, so students like this come up, ask questions, they want to learn, they want to know and all of that, even though they do not agree on a lot of things, which is okay. During conversations, you don't have to agree with me, I don't have to agree with you, but we can learn from one or two things from each other. Anyway, I totally enjoyed this video. Do want to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell if you enjoyed this too, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.